Hello there. This is Derek again with video 2 of just the update of the trailer that was actually given to me with water damage, and I'm just in the process of working on it. And kind of, if you watch video 1, you saw what I saw with the moisture meter, and then now it's what's actually happening. It's kind of interesting because generally it's always worse than what you think. So this kind of, what I've done here is these are some dehumidifiers. I actually own these, but you can rent them, and they just provide, they've been on for maybe 2 hours, and they provide very dry air into the camper as I'm working. I'll turn them off out obviously when I'm working, but when I leave I just let them run, and they extract moisture. Right now you can see it's extracting moisture and dumping it on the ground here. There's a little tube, if you can see that. And then I also have fans. I think they're off right now, just as I do this video, but I'll show you kind of how I do things just to kind of dry things out so I can rip out everything rotten. Just wanted to show you the cabinetry that I removed. Try to save this. It's obviously very difficult to put it back together, and it's not really made that well, so you got to be very careful. It looked like pretty good condition actually, which is surprising. I am going to replace the bench sort of couch that turns into a bed into just a bed because it's not long enough. I'm going to make it into a queen size bed. This is a tank, the water tank that I removed, and I just wanted to kind of show you the funny thing. Most people don't. This is the base of the tank. You can see there's quite a bit of mold. It was actually a lot worse before. I've been cleaning it, but obviously that's not good for you. Can affect your health. So often we wonder why people get sick when they go camping. It could be because of this, cooking with this and that sort of thing, and showering, and also could be just the amount of moisture that's in these campers underneath the floor, and we'll see that in a minute. You can see these tubes are quite moldy, right? So they'll have to be removed, and I'll just, I think that's probably a maintenance issue. You just have to do that every so often. These things leak, these campers, and they leak at the joints here because of movement, and they really, you can see already just a little seam exposure there. That's enough to cause some major moisture damage, and maybe someone hit something at one time. It's hard to say. Maybe they backed into a tree. But the reality is, if it's not properly taken care of, it will cause catastrophic damage, which is what's happening here today. This is just the hot water tank. I removed it. You kind of have to. It's a big job. You can see I've plunked it right out. I had to take out the water pump. I had to take out the hot water tank and the holding tank, and then all this cabinetry. So it's a big job, and you can see the pump there. I'm actually going to replace the Poly B just because I'm not going to replace all of it, but some of it, why not? I'm already at that point, so it doesn't hurt. One thing, let's go inside. There we go. So you can see I'm still ripping and tearing. I got lots of work to do. I'm just kind of taking a break, letting this place dry out. I'm going to replace, try to take out everything that's rotten and moldy. So I just keep on ripping until it's gone, I guess. I really think that I'm not going to have to remove this cabinet here. And sometimes you can dry under these cabinets. I'm not going to remove this. I am going to get in here and do some work, as well as you can see underneath. But it already feels a lot drier in here, but there's a heck of a lot to go, because as I said before, linoleum prevents the ground from drying, and once this material gets wet, or OSB, or orientated strand board, it expands and it weakens the material, and it grows microbial growth, right? You can see that. So that can be harmful to your health. This is probably a Stachybotrys, a household black mold, but really you should have a mask when you work with this stuff. You should wash your hands after with soap, have a shower. If you can wear coveralls that are disposable, or wash them, whatever. Just be careful. If you wear a respirator, it should be the dual cartridge with particulate, which is the purple, and then also the gray, I think it's gray or black organic, and that actually protects you from mold. Because when mold, if it gets in your nose, if it gets in your lungs, just even scratching your eye, could affect your health, right? It doesn't cause a disease or anything that we know of, but can affect your health. So you can see I've disconnected everything, gas line, all the gas is off. You know, there's lots of work. Behind this is kind of like a foam. So that, I'm not going to rip it out. See that foam? But the foam here I had to rip out on this membrane. And this is the bottom membrane, okay? So you don't want to cut through that. You want to kind of scrape all this nasty stuff off and put foam back on, and then, you know, put your wood braces back on, because you can see they're missing here. I've ripped them out because they're rotten. And here, and then that actually affects your structure. You can see it's kind of, you know, it has to all be put back in place. As I said before, you know, I'll do my best, but there's going to be some movement caused by this, and it could cause more damage, but I'll do my best just to make sure it's all put back together. It's dry, I've sprayed everything down, you know, but it's never going to be a camper that I'm going to take on long road trips, unfortunately. This is just, I've just put this together to bring dry air in here. And what else can I say? The only thing, you know, a lot of people might give up on a project like this because it's big. It's a big project. They might think, you know, I should just take this to the dump. Be careful. Dumps, you know, if this contains asbestos, if it's pre-1990, they're going to look at you and say, did you test this for asbestos, right? And it could be very expensive to remove this kind of item. So be careful when you buy an old camper that just has a little bit of water damage, because when I walked in this camper, it looked good. I mean, I could see it because I've seen this kind of stuff before, but it was, I mean, I almost thought maybe I should get one camping trip out of this before I rip it out, but no, I could, when I went into that storage area there, I could feel it, the mold, right? So anyways, I'm going to update the process of this this job, and kind of